So welcome everybody. Welcome to the Webmaster Academy. We're going to be looking at the Wix template on an accountancy firm. And you don't have to be an accountant to use this template. Again, just like any template, you're going to customize it to meet your needs. This is an excellent template if you provide any kind of consultant business for other businesses and services. It's a very basic website, but at least you can get a good foundation of what your site, or if you're building site for others, what the basic foundation should be. So check out this template. It's the Accountancy Services template from Wix.com. Thank you everyone for being here. Let's get started. Hello everybody. If you haven't met me yet, I am Michael Wood and I am the owner and chief web designer at Captivatum Multimedia and Web Design, where we do web designs for others, but I also show you how to create a website from A to Z, from concept to automation at the Webmaster Academy. Just head on down to www.webmasteracademy.online to find out more details on how you can learn how to build websites for yourself or for others. Check out our free trial for more details. All right, let's get into this template from Wix.com on an accountancy firm. I pulled up this page because it was the most interesting. I'm going to go to the home page. And let's just take a quick tour of the website itself. It starts off with this big, giant black banner here. There isn't much to see. There is the simple title of the consultancy. In this case, it's an accountant firm, an accountancy. And they have a quote, basically their vision. It's not just about the numbers. We know what your money needs. And what I like about this is it has the call to action, and it's not huge. It's just off to the side right here. It says, let's talk. So in this case, if I click on let's talk, the call to action brings in this pop-up window where you can put in your name, email, phone number, and a message. And they have their contact information there as well. So that's their way of getting contact. And for this company, getting an email from a client or a phone call is the best way that they can do business. So they put the contact information there. Their call to action is this off there to the side. Let's go ahead and scroll down. And on the home page, it starts with About Us. And that's really excellent because the first thing you want to do as any kind of consultancy or consultant business is to tell them why anyone should listen to you, right? Give some credibility, build some authority. And that's really one of the first things you have to establish before you can get into all of your services and your prices and things like that. You want to start talking about who you are. All right, if you like this template, if you like what I'm talking about here, remember, give me a like or a heart. If you're out there, if you're watching the replay, you could still do the same thing. I like to know who's out there, and I like to know what parts of this presentation you find the most interesting. All right, let's scroll down, and they have this parallax scrolling of a city. It's in black and white. It's a very conservative website, as you can see. I suggest you go ahead and put a photograph of the city you're located in, and it's okay if it's a stock image. Our services, and this is where you lay out the services. And as you can see, they point out the top 3. So in this case, it's building a business plan, and then the strategy and operation, and improving processes. So these are the three things this accountancy firm is probably the best at and best known for. They might provide other services, but here are the top three. If you want to see them all, you click on View All Services. As I scroll down, there's some testimonials. Again, building that brand authority. And in this case, we have sort of a slideshow of testimonials. So each testimonial stands out on its own. And this is really good if you can find about 3 good testimonials from 3 excellent, credible sources. Then you really make those stand out. So here is an example, and these 3 dots down here at the bottom are a way to navigate through, but no one has to click on the dots. It's an automatic scroll. So I'm going to go up, and then when I go down, you'll see that without clicking on anything, these are on an automatic timer. Then I scroll down a little further, and it has the Contact Us section. And then the footer down here, where you list the company who owns the website, and you can give credit to the web designer. They also have a back to top button here. If I click on that, it'll scroll all the way back to the top. It's a very simple site. If I click on Our Services up there at the top, this actually takes us to a new page. So this isn't just a one-page design that you see in a lot of modern templates. This is a multi-page design. Some of the information might be redundant, but that's okay because people navigate websites differently. What's important is that on the home page, the most important things are here, which is who you are, the call to action, your credibility, the 3 top services you provide, and testimonials. And then finally, a way to contact you. Those are really the only elements that you need as a accountancy or consultancy firm. But if you want to give more information, you have other pages to do so. So this page is dedicated to the services. And again, it's got this consistent let's talk on every page because that is the call to action. So we have the building a business plan and with more detail, the strategy and operation, and improving processes. We saw those 3 on the home page, but these are just a little more detailed descriptions. And you want to be real specific with this. And then there's some more. There's human capital, investment management, and that's all they have on this template. You can keep adding or removing services when you go into the editor and start making some customizations. And then the Contact Us, again, is on that page. And I haven't uncovered the editor. This Contact Us might be actually a huge part of the footer. So it might be on every page. And then they have the Testimonials tab. And this is just going to focus on those testimonials. And in this case, it looks like they jumped over back to the home page. So this is not a separate page, but actually an anchor point. So when they clicked on testimonials, it just jumped right on over to the home page. Let's go back to the top. Contact Us is going to basically bounce us back to the bottom. So this website is only 2 pages. It's the main page, as we've looked at a few times already, and then the more detailed Our Services page. So that's it, 2 pages. That is the website. Now, before we go into the editor and start messing around and making some changes, let me just check the chat, see if anybody has any questions at this time. All right, doesn't look like any questions right now. If you're watching the replay, feel free to drop a question or a comment, and make sure you use those emoticons so I know the parts of this presentation that stand out to you, so I could focus on those areas a little bit more. Let's go ahead and go into the editor and see what kind of changes. So before I start adding things, let's just talk about some of the things I can change. I'm going to click on Edit this site, and this will open up the Wix editor. All right, so how do you like the website? I think it's very clean, simple, down to 2 pages, down to the most important things. And your client base will be very important people who need very credible people to consult them on their business. So as any consultancy, you want to have that authority. Who did you help out? What sort of services do you provide? And what is your credibility? All right, now let's get under the hood and let's see what kind of changes we can make without adding things. Now this section right here looks like it is a strip. So the footer just contains the company logo and it contains the menu. So that's the footer. And what I'll do is change the color just so you can see the different parts of the website. Okay, so I'm just going to change it to this blue right here. That's not the color I would want. I just want to show you the difference between the header and the rest of the website. So here is the header up there, and this is a strip. So that means this whole black rectangle, I can change the background to. And let's just change it to something like something simple here. So here I changed it to a photograph. And if you want the white text to stand out, you're going to go into Settings. You're going to change the color behind the image to black. And then what we can do at this point is use the image opacity slider, and we can go all the way black like it was, or just gradually fade in the image until the white stands out as much as you need it to. Okay, so that's how you change the background on the strip. And then this is another strip right here. Now what's interesting is this, there's this orange, or I don't know what it looks like on your screen. It's like a tan box. It's a container box. It's actually crossing both of the strips, which is possible, as you can see here. And what that does is it gives the design a little cohesiveness to it. So that's a very interesting geometrical addition, and that's making this border. And of course we can change the color of that border to anything we want. All it is really a box with an empty fill. So these are some of the different boxes that come with the color palette that's there. Then of course changing the text is you click on the body of text and select Edit Text. Let's go ahead and scroll down. Now this is a strip, and what's interesting about this one, if I change the strip background and if I click on Settings, you're going to see that the box called Parallax has been selected. When I do a preview, the parallax effect is a really nice effect. What it does is, as I scroll the site down or up, it sort of reveals the picture. It's as if the picture just lives in the background. It's like this back window. It's a little bit of a three-dimensional effect. Let me show you what it looks like if I take off the parallax effect, just so you could see the difference. I'll change the background, click on Settings. I'm going to uncheck the parallax effect, or just say none. Now I want you to see the difference. I'm going to hit the preview button, and look what happens. When I move, the image doesn't really move at all. It's just a static image that moves as I scroll through the website. So look at the difference. See, that's without the parallax effect. Let's go ahead and put it back in there. And do you see the difference? See the reveal? The buildings sort of, they get uncovered and hidden and revealed as we scroll. It gives that 3D effect. So that's a parallax. And all you need to do is just change the image to anything you want. I do suggest you pick an image of the city that you live in, and you can use a professional photograph. We're not looking for authenticity here, but just to give a good sense of, where you are located would help. And I like this image because this gives us a splash of color. Again, it's got the parallax effect is built in. So you can leave the site, kind of black and white, and then give a splash of color with this middle line right here. And what this does, it's really creating a nice, clean website, but giving just a little bit of that color to stand out. The Our Services is just a simple text that you can click on and change each of those titles. And then the testimonials, you can go ahead and click on the box and click on the text. Now these are slides. So if I wanted to manage my slides, I have 3 slides here, and I could rename them. I could duplicate them if I want to add more testimonials. And I could actually just click on this slide and move it to another position. That's just a click and drag. So you can add them, you could duplicate them, and each slide could have a different background if you wanted to. So let's change the slide background to a color, just so I can prove a point. So here's blue. But the next slide will be black again. So you can change each slide color individually. Now to give the effect of the testimonials just kind of drifting through one after another, you'll want to keep the background for all the testimonials the same. That would be my suggestion there. This is built within a larger strip here, which I'll change the color just so you can see the difference and see the web parts all together here. So see, I colored that kind of a salmon color. That's the strip. And then within the strip is a full width slideshow. That's what this is, okay? And you can go into settings. You can change the delay between the testimonials. You can change the autoplay. And you can provide effects if you want. Or I like this feature, and that's to stop the autoplay when the mouse cursor is hovering. So naturally, if somebody were actually going to read a testimonial, it's most likely that their mouse will land over it. It just is a natural navigation. And when they hover the mouse, the slides will stop moving. So that's really good. It allows them to read it without the slide moving on before they get a chance to finish. And then the contact us. So these are basically text boxes here within a container, and then there's horizontal lines that was placed in between the elements. Okay, so that's the basic construction, and this is how you can customize different parts. Does anyone have any questions at this point? Hello, Nicole. Thank you for being here. How are you? I'm glad you're here. Anyone else, if you have questions and you're watching the replay, go ahead and post those questions. I'll still get them, even though this is a live presentation. Okay, now that is how to customize the site. Let me just offer a few words of advice in terms of what sort of things could you add to the site. I would add a blog if you want to drive traffic to your site. If you're an agency that's pretty well known and you already have your advertising and your marketing spot on with ad spots or Facebook ads, YouTube ads, whatever you're doing to advertise, then you may not really need a blog. But if you're a brand new agency, then you'll want to have a blog that helps to establish your authority in your industry. So to add a blog, I'll go over to the left and click on Add. And there's all these things we can add. And I'll just say Add Blog. And I'm going to add it to the site. Okay, it's adding the pages in the background. You see all the little wheels are turning. And what's nice is what's been automatically created for you is the navigation up there at the top. And what they've done is they've already added the blog. It's already formatted and everything for your website. They give you some examples. That way you can play with the formatting if you want to. And there's a beautiful blog with the navigation built in. This blog also allows for members to sign up to be a part of your blog. And what that does is allows people to like and to comment and to create a discussion with your blog posts. And that helps build a lot of SEO. So people can log in, comment because they logged in. They'll have a username that they set up. And this helps build a sense of community. Of course, you can sort these blog posts out by categories, and that is really helpful as well as you start adding more and more content. Remember, good SEO comes from great and relevant content. If you want to know more details about building blogs and setting up SEO for your site, be sure to check out my 301 class on SEO at the Webmaster Academy. So that would be the thing, is a blog. And one final thing I might add to this website is the ability for people to make appointments with your office. So I'm going to click on bookings. I'm going to add now. And as you can see, all the wheels are turning, all the codes being created. The navigation's already getting built in. Let's go ahead and get started. And you can't see it there. As you see, it says more. So I'm going to stretch out the menu a little bit because we just added some things. And here you go. It says book online. So you click on book online. And what'll happen, you'll get this box right here with kind of a schedule or a calendar. Now, because we're in the editor, we're in preview mode, you're not going to see anything yet. So I have to actually click on manage bookings and then click on settings. So for now, there's really nothing there. We have to create a service. Now what's nice is the new Wix dashboard allows you to manage your blog posts and your bookings all in one place. Why is that good? Because you can add a collaborator to your website other than your web designer, and they'll have access to the blogs and the booking engine without needing to update the website itself. And that's really helpful for teams that have web designers, but you might also have an admin assistant who does just the bookings. So this dashboard is not only convenient to have it in one place, but also allows for collaboration. All right, so if I go to booking services, I'll create my first service, and it's either a class, which is kind of cool, or an appointment. So in this case, as a accountancy, you'll want an appointment. So you'll say, well, we'll call it a financial strategy consultation. And it only allows 30 characters, so I just have to change this. We'll just call it a financial consultation for now. And then you can add a photo to make it stand out. You can just pick a stock image. It only has to be symbolic. So I just went into the free stock images from Wix.com. And we'll just make it look like some kind of an appointment. So see if I can get two people talking. Oh, this looks like, well, they're having a consultation meeting right there. So it's a financial consultation. You can choose what category. So in this case, we can go ahead and pick out strategy. We can add a tagline. We can add a description. We can add certain members of your staff, which is really great because then people can choose which member of their staff they want to work with, or you can adjust the availability of each staff member within the booking engine. You can say how long it is, so we'll just say it's a 30-minute session. 0 time between appointments, or we can say I want at least 15 minutes before each session. And we can make it free or paid. So in this case, we'll just say it's a free consultation. And we'll mention that right here. And where is the consultation going to be? Is it going to be online? Is it at your place or their place? Let's go to their place. And we're going to save the service. So as you see, by filling in the blanks on the back end, it's going to build everything we need onto the site itself. I'm going to publish the site. And let's go ahead and take a preview. I'm going to exit that page because the code needs to rebuild. Let's click on Book Online. And right now it's kind of logged on as me, so it may not show the dashboard that other people would see. Instead, it's my dashboard as if I were signed in. Okay, so it's actually in my own account. So we can't see the bookings. But if we were to go ahead and go live with this site, then you'll see there is a place for people to go in there and book an appointment for you. And then, of course, I tried to do the settings, and it asks us for a premium plan. So Bookings is a premium service that you would need to pay through Wix.com. I don't want to get too much more detail into bookings. I just want to give you a brief overview. If you want more details, again, check us out at the Webmaster Academy.online. That is the agency website, in this case an accountancy website, template from Wix.com. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Right, looks good. Thank you everyone for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel, whichever platform you're on, and I'll do more videos like these. Give me a comment. I'd like to know what parts of the presentation really stand out to you, so then I can focus on that in the future. Remember, I'm here for you guys. So again, thank you everyone for being here. I hope that this time was productive and at least gave you some things to think about when you design your own website or designing websites for others. Thanks again, everybody, and I'm glad you were here. Check us out at webmasteracademy.online. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.